Mary me, Annie here. Whether you have seen reference to tarot together on my video that mentioned it, whether you've stumbled across us, welcome. This video will serve as an introduction, gives you a chance to decide if you want to watch the series when it pops up in your queue, whether it's something you want to get involved with. So I wanted to kind of share what it was all about. A friend named it for us. He asked me what my goals for tarot, a series on the tarot, would be. And I told him it was. I had been re-engaged in studying it for the better part of the last year. And I wanted the opportunity to feel like I wasn't doing that in a bubble, all by myself. I have what my first teachers taught me, because I spent time with someone who taught me the tarot from her perspective. That was back in the middle 70s or so. So I have the teachings that she passed on to me. I have my experiences over time. I have where my recent studies have taken me. But it's all rather insular. I know a lot of you have experience with the tarot. I also know a lot of you are interested in this series because you knew I was planning it, because you don't know about tarot and would like to learn. I wanted to bring that pendulum swing into a series that was really about learning together. And when I said that to my friend, he said, well, make it cutesy, make it tarot together. That's how we got named. Let me tell you what it's about, so you get an idea whether it catches your fancy. I learned tarot from a teacher in the 70s. I think there were one or two books that were available at the time, but mostly it was what she told me and demonstrated for me. And it was working specifically. You need to know this, since my series is going to be focused on that, the Rider-Waite deck. Doesn't mean that if you don't use the Rider-Waite deck and you use something else, you might not find it interesting anyway, and could still contribute in very important ways to the conversation. Because the meanings of most of the cards that are in a lot of the contemporary decks came from early decks like the Rider-Waite. And it could be that you have the Rider-Waite and you're looking at the cards and you're trying to figure out how to learn them, what they mean. I know it felt overwhelming to me early on. I'm not going to go into that in this video because I do have a how we started video. That will be our first discussion topic. This is just to let you know what's going on and how you can participate. So just so you know, it's going to be topic driven, with me having a topic for each video, a series of kind of introductory topics, and then working through the major arcana together. I do plan on going on to the minors too. That's quite a while out. From the perspective of the Rider-Waite, and I actually took some notes because I wanted to be clear in this video what the series was about, so that if you see it show up in your queue again, you know if you're interested. So I'm going to use some notes here. Learning together, it's important to me. I'm not teaching the tarot in this series. I do have a lot of information up here and in my personal experience of using the tarot, but there are excellent channels here on YouTube. There are excellent websites, great books. One of our topics is going to be to share those things about the tarot from people who are experienced teachers of the tarot. What Tarot Together is going to be is someone who is re-engaged with learning and expanding her experience of it, wanting to be in conversation with others. The others, an important thing it's also on my list here too. The conversations are going to be welcoming of those who have a tarot deck, one and only tarot deck they've never opened and they want to learn it. And it's going to be welcoming to those who have a lot of experience and can share from their experience. Together is the operative word for this series. So I expect that within comments that we will appreciate. We will have varying and sometimes opposing views. Why not? That can make it very interesting, by the way. I hope it happens. And that we have a varying level of experience and even reasons why we even use the tarot. So I hope to engage with those who are newly learning the tarot and those who've been at it for a while in one form or another. I have established a Facebook group to widen the conversation. Now I realize not everybody is on Facebook. I am, so I'm utilizing it as a way to have a further conversation. The link to the group is in the comments below, also at the end of this video. It will be topic driven. Basically, when I upload a video, it's the topic of discussion on the Facebook page. Facebook gives us a wider opportunity to share more, especially if we're part of that community. However, the conversation that happens here on YouTube I find equally important to the discussions. I'll be present for it too. Here's how the series is going to flow. This is your chance to get an idea if you're going to be interested in it. So much comes up on our cues. We do pick and choose how we're going to spend our time, don't we? I'm going to start with a few introductory kinds of videos. For instance, how I got started, therefore wanting to know how you got started on the tarot. Why involved in the tarot? What purpose? What do we get out of it? How to choose a deck. Care and feeding of our decks. Discussion of how to go about studying what seems like an overwhelming thing. You think of that spread with all those cards and wonder, how can I learn all that? And what do I have to memorize? And how much of it do I interpret on my own outside of all that? That kind of discussion. A chance to discuss how we personalize our experience of the tarot. Beyond those facts, the things we learn and jot down and read and discover. Even things that other people share with us. Because it's not always about just what we collect as some kind of a given. Tarot is not about givens. A chance to talk about as a topic. The books, YouTube channels, and websites that we like. A discussion of the Fool's Journey or not. Is it or is it not the Fool's Journey? And then starting off with taking on the majors, one card at a time. Mind you, it's not going to be a 4 or 5 minute video on each of the majors. This series is only going to be interesting for you if you really want to spend some time going into this. I expect to have probably about 4 videos with each of the major cards, and I'm not worried about time on them. They'll be what they are. So if you're looking for bites, tarot bites, bits and pieces, nah, this is not going to be a series for you. You need to know it's going to be Rider-Waite based. It's not that it is the only deck that I enjoy, but it's what I was taught on. It's where I find the deepest value when it comes to symbolism. Indeed, because it's what I was taught on. It's also a connection to history and flow of time, an esoteric study that is important to me when it comes to the tarot. So, my series, my deck, the Rider-Waite. So this series might not be good for everyone. If you can't stand the Rider-Waite, you're going to get sick and tired of it, almost from the start. But even if Rider-Waite's not the deck you use, but you're interested in exploring the symbolism that may have led to the symbolism in the very deck that you use, it could be for you. It's also not going to be for you if you're looking for short videos, little bites and bits. Probably won't be interesting to you if you don't like an in-depth kind of look at things. When I take on a study, I go up to my eyeballs in study. I immerse myself in study. I did it in the 70s when I first took on my study of the tarot, and I certainly have been doing it this past year. This series is the result of that. Me wanting more. Me wanting an expanse of information and experience and insight beyond just me or the sources I've stumbled upon and used in my studies this past year. So not for everybody, but for those who would like to spend some time together and are looking for a deeper study, might be something you want to consider. Both discussing here and if you're active on Facebook. What this is not, I want to reinforce this yet again because we have some great teachers here on YouTube that teach the tarot. What it is not is me teaching the tarot. I am a student of the tarot. I want to be a student with other students of the tarot. Oh, I admit I have a lot to share because that's how I study and that's how I collect information. I'm a cataloger of things when I study, but I have probably less experience than many people who will watch these videos and participate in these series. It's more about wanting to be in kind of a classroom situation with all of you who will join me in this. I'm really looking forward to that. So, possibility of contributing comments to videos. And the videos are going to be useless to me if I don't get comments because I'm looking to expand my experience of tarot together with you. And the possibility for a discussion on our Facebook group also. I look forward to seeing those of you who are active on Facebook joining us there. So, I'm going to let this video, the introduction to Tarot Together, be live for a few days before I upload the first topic video, which will be how I came to study tarot and therefore, hopefully, hearing your stories, including, and don't forget, video responses, how you came to study tarot. So, until then, I hope you'll consider, with me, a little bit of tarot together. Mary Part.